Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Mariya. It's nice to meet you. I am a healer, a channel, an intuitive. I do guided meditations, and this is a channel about spirituality. Today, we're talking about the spiritual significance of losing or misplacing things. What does that mean? What is the message from the universe if you have misplaced your keys or cannot find your shoes or what have you? Or let's say that you have been scammed for a large amount of money or a small amount of money, or you lost a precious item. What does that mean? What is happening at the energetic level? And should you really be upset? All that and more in this video. So let's dive in. I find this topic fascinating. So let's first start with misplacing items, right? The little things or the big things. Sometimes you just wander around the house and just cannot find something. It could be the big item, the small, it just can't find it. What is usually the message? Now, it could be many different reasons. Some of the main ones are A, the universe is trying to slow you down. So there's somewhere where you're being impatient, where you would like to move faster. And because you're moving faster, you are forcing or pressuring the universe. And so sometimes the universe would want to adjust you and be like, hey, let's be in sync, come back into the fold, stop rushing, stop putting pressure on yourself, the world, the universe, the people around you, etc. Slow down. Slow down in order to flow is really the message, right? So if you're misplacing small objects like keys, or you're getting ready in the morning and you're really rushing, cannot find the one thing that you need to leave the house, the answer is slow down. So even if you slow down and you take 3 deep breaths, and ideally like audible exhale through your mouth, you would notice that internally, it helps you get your body into a state of equilibrium and just inner peace. And that would align you with that misplaced object very, very quickly. Sometimes the universe communicates other things to you through misplaced objects. It could be that you are out of alignment with the universe in terms of your emotional state, or you're going down the rabbit hole, the negative rabbit hole with your thinking patterns. And because of that, the universe will align you with losing a small object or misplacing something. And the reason that that is done is because the universe always talks and communicates to us through signs. Signs are everywhere. It's just sometimes we don't perceive certain things to be signs from the universe. And we're like, oh, it must be a random occurrence that I, misplaced my keys or lost a $50 bill. The truth of the matter is that's usually the first bell from the universe that something is out of sync or out of alignment. And before bigger things start happening on your path, before you stray too far away from that point of equilibrium, and before you stray too far away from your perfect intended path, the universe wants to bring you back while it's still easy. And so it'll align it in a way that you would lose that object. And then, so what you need to do is internalize and catch yourself. In the moment or prior to the moment when you realize that you lost something or misplaced something, what were you thinking? What were you feeling? And specifically monitor your negative emotions or negative thinking patterns for the previous 24 hours prior to this happening or prior to this event. And see where have you been out of alignment. Literally try to examine your states. Have you been angry at somebody? Perhaps. Have you repressed that? Have you lied to someone, for instance, right? Like all of these things could be examples of alignment. Holding on to the truth and not speaking up when you're meant to speak up. That could be also out of alignment with the universe. Now, there could be so many different things. But you probably have patterns. The truth of the matter is you probably have patterns that consistently steer you off the path of least resistance, which is your perfect intended path, right? So finding even one small thing, like a pattern of thinking, an intrusive thought, a limiting belief, or a recurring feeling, a negative emotion that you have, could all be stepping stones towards recovery and regaining your balance. Now, what happens if you lose something that is significant? Not like a $20 bill, but something that is significant. Or if you get scammed for a large amount of dollars. Or if somebody just behaves to you in a way where you feel like being taken advantage of. Like, let's say that you've performed a job, but God forbid you haven't been paid for it. Like things like that. Or maybe something happened and you missed your flight and you cannot get a refund. Or, I mean, there's something else, right? For some reason, you just cannot cash the check. I mean, that hardly ever happens. But, things like that where like you are out of like either a big amount of money and it's hard for you to trace back what happened. Or sometimes you lose a very expensive material object or something gets stolen from you. Like, I don't know, like an engagement ring gets stolen from your hotel room or like things like that. What is that usually the sign of? That could be a few things. I'll just give you the main ones that I'm sensing from the collective. The first one is this is a karmic payback for something. Sometimes if you don't follow the laws of exchange, energy exchange with people, or if you don't behave in a way that is, call it consistent with the universal law in one way, shape, or form, the universe has the full right to bring things back to balance. And the taking away material possession of yours is actually the cheapest way of doing that because the universe has many levers to pull. And the fastest, cheapest way to get rid of some karma is to lose a material object. And of course, not specifically, like if you wanted to pay back karma and you're just like, take this diamond ring, it's never going to work. The universe needs to want to take it from you, if there is a balance. So that could be one, right? So one type or like one very common occurrence is that, in fact, it's just karmic payback and you should be grateful that the universe took the money or the ring or, I don't know, something else that is material and arguably easily replaceable instead of going after your health or your family in some way. So that's always a good thing. There could be other things. So very often we start losing things as a rite of passage, especially on a spiritual path, or when you're truly upgrading, when you're moving from one level to another level in your life, and that can mean financially, that can mean in terms of relationships, etc. When there is like a big shift in your life, and when things are about to improve, you would usually need to take a quantum leap for that to happen. Almost like think of it as jumping from like, I don't know if you're going up the steps, like jumping over like 5 steps on a ladder. That would take a significant amount of effort, right? So energetically, leaps of faith, and that is what is usually required in any kind of major transitions. Leaps of faith are very energy intensive exercises. And so before you're ready for an upgrade, the universe is going to test you. The universe is going to test you. The universe is going to help you shed some karma also so that you become lighter and you can make that next jump. You can get to that next level in accordance with, call it your destiny or your path or, with what you wanted and what you've been manifesting, et cetera, et cetera. So you may notice a trend that sometimes before a big upgrade, you start losing things or material things. And it could even be through natural disasters like a flood or a fire, or like just things that are really hard to explain. All of these, the force majeure, they call them, the major forces outside of your control. And like if these things happen back to back, or if you lose an uncharacteristically large amount, very often it's not a simple karmic payback, but in fact, it is a way of the universe to help you accumulate the energy that you need for the quantum leap. Because anytime the universe takes something away from you that is material, especially if it is not karmic, meaning especially if it's almost like understood that energy is going to be used for the quantum leap. What the universe has to give back to you is something bigger than what it took. Usually it's 10 times bigger, but depending on the quantum leap, sometimes the universe has to return to you something that is 100 times bigger than what it took. Now, of course, you have to be in full alignment prior to this happening, right? Like there always are tests and trials and tribulations, and you have to put in the work and the blood and the sweat and the tears before you can even align with a scenario that feels like and serves as that rite of passage, right? Before that next level up. But the universe is on your side, and the universe is always going to help you pay off the karmic debt and then help you accumulate the energies. So if God forbid you lose something big, please know that there's nothing wrong with you in a sense, and it is meant to be, right? Allow the universe to unfold in your favor. That can only happen if you don't judge the universe and the circumstances of your life, but rather accept every single circumstance of your life as a positive. So start coloring your world pink, meaning even when you lost something, understand that that's a blessing. And that is how I want you to think about losing material things and sums of money. Now, again, don't try to fake it and don't try to align with it as hard as you can, right? But just accept it when it comes and know that, especially if things happen back to back to back, you're due for an upgrade. And that, my darling, is amazing news. Please let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this whole situation. If you have ever experienced a life upgrade, and if you have noticed the tendency for the universe to take things away from you prior, if you've noticed that. And yeah, just let me know your thoughts. And if you've loved this video, if you like this kind of content, I make videos every day. So please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up. And yes, I love having you, as a part of this community. Thank you so much for watching this far. Sending you a big virtual hug. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, loves.